2 days of early voting have begun in South Korea to elect the country's 21st president. Voters across the country are already making their ways to polling stations 5 days earlier than the actual election day. And our Ahn Sung-jin is at one of them here in Seoul. Good morning, Sung-jin.
Good morning, Dami.
So, Sung-jin, which of the country's 3,569 polling stations are you at?
Right, Dami. So I'm standing in front of an early voting polling station in Yeoksam-dong, Gangnam-gu district, an area bustling with many offices and business people. I've been out here since fairly early in the morning, and as you can probably see behind me, we saw an influx of voters coming in early to vote before they headed to work. So many as the officials had to control the line, which extended way beyond the polling station in front.
I'm 20 years old, so this is my first time to vote. I hope someone who can bring national unity and enhance people's livelihoods becomes the next president.
I've been waiting to vote, and I wanted to do so as soon as I could. I came early before work because I couldn't wait out of frustration.
So there haven't been much issues with the voting process going fairly smoothly. And for this presidential election, there are more than 3,500 polling stations nationwide, with around 420 of them in Seoul.
Now, Sung-jin, tell us how early voting works. For this early presidential voting, the National Election Commission has made extra effort to realize a fair and transparent election. Is that correct?
Right, so to begin with how early voting works, early voting takes place for 2 days, Thursday and Friday, from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. Those eligible voters must be over 18 and also bring a government-issued ID. Turnout in previous early voting in 2017 was 26.1%, while in 2022 it was 36.9%, a record high figure. Although we did see an increase in turnout rate in 2022, with voting taking place on a weekday, unlike previously, we may see a lower number. The process of verifying vote counting officials will be strengthened after accusations in 2020 that Chinese voting officials during the general election may have rigged votes. The NEC emphasized that it will be hiring all 260,000 voting and counting officials as Korean nationals to shut down any suspicions of election fraud. Ballot boxes will be monitored around the clock, and the NEC will also run a fair election observation team for the first time to observe the entire election process from voting to counting. The NEC had also announced that in this presidential election, the number of voters per hour will be disclosed by each polling station for the first time.
So, Sung-jin, it's past 10 a.m. as we are speaking, which means 4 hours have passed since the early voting began. How many South Koreans have voted early so far?
Right, so as of 9 a.m. at the polling station I'm at, 1,722 people have voted, and the total for Seoul is 293,852. Other major cities like Busan saw 77,052 people, Daegu 40,811, and Sejong 11,807 people. However, as we're just passing 10 a.m. as we speak, the figures should have been updated, which I will bring in our later newscast. The Democratic Party spokesperson said that their party's candidate Lee Jae-myung will vote in Seoul this morning. The People's Power Party Kim Moo-soo is also believed to be voting early. That's all I have for now, and later I will be back with the new updates for our later newscast.
All right, Sung-jin, thank you for that coverage. That was our Ahn Sung-jin at one of the early voting polling stations here in the capital.